disinfection robots, thermal body cameras, and virus-killing aircon systems. Welcome to the COVID-free office of the future. A workplace in Bucharest filled with antivirus innovations could become the new normal in office design. Here's how it works. The Guardian reports that H3, a large office building in the Romanian capital of Bucharest, features all of the 153 measures of the so-called Immune Anti-COVID Building Standard. When you enter the building, a flick of the wrist opens the door, after which a thermal body camera scans you for signs of fever. If the scanner finds fever, you'll be whisked to a quarantine room with its own separate aircon and air-purifying systems. If you're green-lighted by the scanner, you can move to the self-cleaning lift that uses UV lighting to clean the lifts and lift shafts. Inside, you'll find doors fitted with attachments that let you open them with an elbow or lower arm. The toilet cubicles are floor-to-ceiling, enclosing you in your own cubicle with air conditioning. At night, a 1.2-meter-tall robot traverses the building using UV light to disinfect and kill pathogens. During the day, virus-killing hydrogen peroxide ions are emitted from strategic points in the ventilation system. Because visibility of the measures is so important to the designers, transparent panels have been fitted in the ceiling so that the mechanisms can be seen. The point is to reassure them. We don't want people to panic, says Gavin Bonner, one of the main coordinators behind the Immune Building Standard project. The project has brought together health professionals, architects, engineers, IT specialists, and building managers from around the world to help corporations prepare for post-pandemic life. The good news is that future cities will look less like this endless dense wasteland of tower blocks and more like this. Every cloud has a silver lining, and the good thing about the coronavirus cloud is that it has inspired a new city in China that will be much more beautiful and natural than the dense tower block cities of today. China said it will build this new neighborhood in Xiong'an near Beijing as a template for the rest of the huge new city. Xiong'an occupies a massive 2,000 square kilometers or 772 square miles, making it almost as big as London and New York combined. The Xiong'an area has been designated as an urban innovation zone by China's government, and it is envisioned that large parts of the new city will look like this new neighborhood. According to Vicente Gualart, whose Spanish company designed the new neighborhood, his team had to create the design during lockdown, having to work from their homes, physically cut off from each other and the world. That's why they decided to create a blueprint for a city that will be COVID-ready, enabling people to live in comfort during future virus lockdowns. The new COVID-friendly neighborhood will feature enclosed courtyards with lots of trees, large walking spaces, a communal swimming pool, rooftop farms, and large greenhouses. The buildings will have large windows to let in light, bigger balconies to allow easy drone deliveries, sloping roofs for solar panels, communal work and lounge areas, and food markets. The work and lounge areas will feature 3D printers and prototyping machines, which can be used to produce new products, possibly even from the building's recycled trash. Mr. Gualart said, "We cannot continue designing cities and buildings as if nothing had happened." He said the idea is to build homes that allow telework and teleeducation, have flexible spaces on large terraces, in buildings that can grow food on rooftops, and 3D print objects. The new COVID-ready design rolls three concepts into one, merging the traditional European mixed-use urban blocks, the Chinese modern tower blocks, and productive farming landscapes. Even as a deadly second wave of COVID-19 ravages India, doctors are now reporting a rash of cases involving a rare fungal infection, also called the black fungus, among recovering and recovered COVID-19 patients. The infection has a very high mortality rate, and treatment often involves the removal of an eye. Here are the details. The BBC reports that surgeons in India are reporting a sharp increase in the number of mucormycosis cases in patients who survived COVID-19. Mucormycosis is a rare fungal infection that is caused by exposure to mucor mold, which is commonly found in soil, plants, and even in the mucus of healthy people. It affects the sinuses, the brain, and the lungs, and can be life-threatening in diabetics or people with weakened immune systems. The infection has a frightening mortality rate of 50% and often requires the removal of an eye or sinus tissues. Diabetics who survived coronavirus are especially at risk. Some doctors believe that's because diabetes lowers the body's immune defenses, then coronavirus exacerbates the problem, and then steroids, which help fight coronavirus, acts like fuel to the fire. Steroids reduce inflammation in the lungs for COVID-19 and limit the damage, but they also reduce immunity in both diabetic and non-diabetic COVID-19 patients. It is thought that this drop in immunity could be triggering India's spike in mucormycosis cases. Mumbai's busy Sion Hospital has reported 24 cases of the fungal infection in the past 2 months, up from 6 cases a year. 11 of them had to lose an eye, and 6 of them died. Most of the patients are middle-aged diabetics who were struck down by the fungus 2 weeks after recovering from COVID-19. A powerful new COVID-19 vaccine from Novavax uses a different approach from previous vaccines and has been found to work well in more than 90% of tested individuals. These results are paving the way for it to be available later this year in the US and elsewhere. The Novavax vaccine uses purified pieces of the coronavirus to spur an immune response in the body. Here are the details. Reuters reports that Novavax Incorporated said on Monday, June 14th, that its new COVID-19 vaccine was more than 90% effective against a variety of coronavirus variants. The company says its vaccine is most effective against the original coronavirus strain, as well as the Alpha strain that was first detected in the UK. The vaccine is a more conventional type of mixture than those currently available. Novavax does not use mRNA, unlike mRNA vaccines like that of Pfizer and Moderna, which contain a piece of genetic code called RNA that prompts the body to create an immune response against the virus. Novavax differs from this in that it uses the traditional approach of injecting purified pieces of the virus to spur an immune response more directly. It contains an actual version of the virus's spike protein that has been treated so it cannot cause disease, but can still trigger the immune system. The body can then make antibodies against the spike proteins that cover the coronavirus and which enable the virus to penetrate human cell membranes. The Novavax vaccine showed successful results after its Phase 3 clinical trial, which tested more than 30,000 volunteers in the US and Mexico. This puts Novavax on track to have its 2-dose vaccine approved in the US and elsewhere in the third quarter of 2021.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.